Okay.
Interesting. That's going to be the name of this video.
Interesting. Hi. Hi, my name is Paola Sicarelli, and I'm here with Marilyne Kohn.
Hello.
And, well, I've been meeting so many incredible, amazing people. Not lately, like for a long time, but now, lately, I had this idea. They inspire me so much. Their stories inspire me so much that I decided to record their stories so they can inspire you too. So this is Marilyne. She's gonna tell us her story. So, Marilyne, were you born in France?
Yes, I was born in France. But I came very quickly after I was born to Los Angeles.
Oh, how did you end up here?
My parents are both, they grew up in France, but they met in Los Angeles.
Yeah, right.
And so they were actually living in Los Angeles when my mom was pregnant with me. But my mom wanted to be near her mother in France when she delivered me. So she went to France and had me, and then came back to LA because that's where they were living. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's so chic to
It's
be
so
born
chic.
in France.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you, when you started working, you already told me that, and you started very, very young, like when you were 19. How was it?
How was it?
Yeah, you can start from wherever you went.
Yeah.
So, because
Yeah.
the point is, I want to know what brought you until this moment in your life. But I'd like to know, how everything started.
Happened.
Yeah.
How it happened. So yes, I started working right out of high school. I was 18 when I started, and let's see, I in high school, when I was in high school, towards the last years of high school, I knew that I didn't want to go to college. There was something about the education system that, if I can say, it repelled me, because I didn't really agree with the way that things were being taught in a very kind of mechanical way. And I had a very rebellious spirit at the time, so I just didn't want to have anything to do with it anymore. And I really wanted to work. I felt like this was something I wanted to do, was to work and to earn money so I could be independent and buy my own things. And so, yeah, when I graduated high school in Palm Springs, I moved to LA and I got a job answering phones at a clothing company. And like I was sharing with you before, I was very ambitious to move up, and I had a feeling of always wanting more. I had a very strong kind of drive in me. So I was very aggressive in a way in pushing my boss at the time to give me a bigger position. And so little by little, I pushed, and he finally allowed me to start the international department in his clothing company, because I was dealing with people from different countries and I spoke 3 languages. So then it was something that came easily, I guess. So yes, so that's how I started in the fashion industry, actually, which I stayed in for about 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, yeah. Yeah.
And, well, it's good that you're saying that about education, because a lot of us feel like that. Like, So, and here in the United States, it's very common. Like, if you don't want to go to college, you can make a living without going to college.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I do remember quite a few people at the time saying to me, "You're never going to be able to find work, and your life is going to be very difficult if you don't go to college." And I remember thinking about that, thinking, "Oh, maybe I do need to go. Maybe this would be right for me." So I think there were a few times where I went and visited my friends who were in college. When I was in LA working, I went and visited them, and I think it solidified me not wanting to go to college, because I saw a side of college that was about partying, drinking, really just having no responsibilities in a way, which to some people sounds really cool and exciting, but I really was in a mode of wanting to work and make money. This was my ambition.
since very young, you were very focused.
Since about that age. I think it was much more the wanting to be independent. Money meant independence. It didn't even mean like buying nice things, because I didn't really even have a taste for nice things at all back then, but it was really like, it was really that money equated independence, freedom. And freedom was very important for me, because I had a very independent personality.
And
Yeah.
did you find this freedom in having money, in having your own money?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I got a taste for it in the beginning when I started making my own money. And I think I remember having this feeling that when I have money, I don't have to answer to anybody. If I have money, if I'm going out with somebody in a relationship and I'm not happy, I can leave. And I don't have to depend on the person financially. If I have money and I'm doing something for work and I don't like it, or the people are not nice, or I don't enjoy working there, or if I have problems with the people or anything, I can leave. So money really was always about this idea. Maybe later I can talk a little bit more about, or share about, my feelings about freedom, because I feel very differently now about freedom.
Yes, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
Because you went up very fast,
Yeah.
and then you were down, because
Yes.
it's what
It's
what
what
happens. Like, we go up, and then when we get where we thought it was gonna be like a long time to get, and then what?
And then what?
And then
Yeah.
so tell us
Yeah.
your story. How was it, like, your this your life in the fashion and all the glamour, and how it was?
Yeah, the glamour. Well, so when I first got into it, it was very exciting. I was 18 years old. I was traveling a lot to places that seem very glamorous. I have family in France, so I was going to France. So for me, France always seemed a little bit different than the way a lot of people see Paris. They think of Paris and think it's the most beautiful city in the world, and it's romantic, and and everyone is amazing. The food is wonderful, and there are aspects of it that are really wonderful. But there's also a whole other side to things, and so. But in the beginning, when I got into the business and I was traveling to all these beautiful places, I was really immersed in all the things that people see on the superficial appearance of the place. I was immersed in it. I was enjoying the glamour, so to speak, all of the things that look nice. So like dressing well, and you would go to nice places and people would treat you nicely. And of course you're in fashion, so everything is about appearances. So I kind of, at the time, I didn't realize, now I realize this more, which maybe later I can share a little bit more, but I didn't realize at the time that there was something about this industry that was a perfect match for me. a perfect match, but also very destructive, because it matched my personality, meaning at the time I had a personality of being very ambitious, competitive. I liked to get things done. I liked getting things done in the right way, and I liked things to be done a certain way. And I was very aggressive in my way of getting those things. So the fashion industry really encourages that very much. It encourages people to be greedy. It encourages you to want more, to have more, to get more, to want more. And it's like a cycle. And it's never enough, because the fashion industry is very interesting. In terms of, like, I was in the women's apparel for quite a while. And every season you have a new collection. So in a way, while you're selling one collection, the next collection is being developed and designed. And before you're finished selling this collection, there's a whole new collection that's coming out. So you're constantly in a mode of wanting, and you're selling the need for more. You're selling the need for more. So it's almost like you're perpetuating greed in a way.
Oh my God, that industry is it's brutal. Right?
It's very brutal.
With women, more than, because women that work for it, and for all the women that we have to follow. Yeah, what is being promoted and sold and marketed. And your body has to
look a certain way, and if it doesn't, then what does that say about you? So for many years, I really wasn't realizing this other side of what I was doing. I was just really playing my part very well. I was playing my part. So, I was concerned, always concerned about how I appeared on the outside and how I portrayed myself to people. I always wanted to make sure that I did a really good job so that no one could ever say that I wasn't good at what I did. So I had a lot of fear, anxiety underneath the outside appearance. And I would definitely have strong reactions to people who confronted me about things. And I kind of built up this persona of someone who really knew what they were doing. Yeah, I built that up. I built that up because it was too scary to think about not being capable, meaning that people would think I was weak or incapable. This was not an option for me. It was not, especially in an industry that was mostly males.
Yeah.
And so also there was the male-female dynamic constantly at play.
And you wanted to feel like you were
one of the guys. Them. Oh yeah, for sure. And I really became
like all these
one of the
strong
guys.
Women, like the strong women.
Yeah.
We want to look like guys. No, I'm not weak, because our whole life we learned that women are weak, men are stronger. So we want to be one of them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So
yes.
What at what point things started like to, I don't know, you realized it wasn't like, I don't know, in what point things
as fun and glamorous as it appeared? I would say that in my I was in it for about 20 years, and I would say about 10 years into it, I think maybe earlier, I started, maybe within 5 years of being in the industry, I started to feel not fulfilled and happy deep inside. But honestly, I didn't know what that was supposed to look like. I had no idea what it meant to be happy or to be content in a way. So for me, happiness was money. Happiness was freedom. Happiness was having nice things. Happiness was having a lot of friends. Happiness was being able to travel whenever I wanted to.
How were your relationships at that time? You had a lot of friends, boyfriends.
Yes, a lot. Yeah, it's almost like it was in the same rhythm as what I was doing for a living. So if something didn't please me, I would move on. It was like really very yes, no, good, bad, black, white, don't like this, okay, done, moving on. It was very like mechanical in a way. There was very little emotion in what I was doing. It was really just, well, there were emotions actually, sorry, but meaning I wouldn't get sentimental about things. I was not letting sentiment get to me.
You wouldn't allow it to.
No.
Yeah,
Not
it's
really.
really good that you're saying that, because we all think like that, like money, friends, family,
Yeah.
traveling, like
Yeah.
vacation, great
Vacation,
job,
yeah.
status will
yes.
bring you happiness.
Yeah.
And when you get it all,
Yes.
you realize I'm still not happy.
Yeah. Something's going on. Something doesn't feel right. Or something's missing, maybe.
Something's missing.
Something's missing. Like there's always this feeling of something's missing. Something's missing. I gotta go get it. It's gotta be somewhere. I gotta go there. I gotta go here. You see something that represents something you think is happiness, so you move towards it. And then it's not happiness, so you get a little bit more like frustrated. And a little bit
And we want more and more and more, because you think, oh, maybe it wasn't enough, and you keep going for more and more and more, and you get exhausted.
Oh yeah.
And how was it like
Well,
when you realized that? How was it for you?
I'm trying to think. I think when you just said we get exhausted, maybe for me the exhaustion was depression.
Yeah, it can be like we get anxious, depressed, exhausted.
Yeah.
Some people doesn't want to live anymore because it's exhausting.
It's exhausting. Always wanting more
Yeah.
and needing more and thinking that getting that next thing is going to fulfill something in you. This is really, and I think every time we get it and it doesn't give us the happiness, we feel more disillusioned. We're wondering what is going on here. What's happening? It really looked like it was going to give me what I wanted.
Yeah, I'm still not happy.
I'm still not happy.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Everybody's so happy.
Yeah.
I have even more, and I'm still not happy.
Yes.
What is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Probably something wrong with me. Right?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
And I think it's great what you just said, the comparison. We start comparing constantly with other people. That person looks so happy. Look at them. Wow, they have this, they have that. How come I can't have that?
Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Filters, like everybody looks happy, rich, like
they travel all the time. Like they have
great
endless amounts of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has that. They are so happy.
Yeah.
When we get some, we are still not happy.
Still not
So
happy.
what's wrong?
with us? Yeah, what's going on here?
So
Yeah.
how?
Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's good that we're talking about this, because you don't, I mean, honestly, even today, I don't hear many people talking about this. I talk about it.
We don't
with my
learn that.
friends. We don't learn it.
It was like you said about school.
Yeah.
We should be learning that in school, like how to be financial free, how to be happy, how to have good relationships. These things we don't learn.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in very little people talking about this, like how to be happy, how.
Yeah. So I mean, even today, that's still not being talked about. I mean, back when we were in school, we have like an 8-year age difference, but still, even when we went to school, I'm not sure in your school, did they teach anything about mindsets,
No,
emotions,
nothing.
how to treat a person. I don't remember any of that. And when I see some kids that I know now that are in school, like, from elementary all the way to high school, I don't see them getting that at all in school. And so I still see the competitiveness, the need for recognition, the things that we all went through that then you take into your adult life. How can you not?
And
can you not?
And these days, it's exponential because of
Yeah.
the social media. So if you do like a little mistake, it's a huge
It
thing.
can be a big thing, yeah.
So we have to talk about that more. Good.
Yeah, I think the more it's talked about, the better.
And this is why your story is so inspiring, because like you realize that you had it all, and you realize, oh, it's not making me happy, and then you went down.
Yeah,
until
I went down.
How was that? Would you like to talk about that, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide. I don't know if this would be something that other people will relate to, but all I know is that it helped. What I've been doing and what I've been learning and understanding has been helping me tremendously. Mainly the understanding, because I feel like life is always going to throw curveballs, because that's how life works. Life works in such a way that if you don't understand things, life will ensure that it sends you situations to help you understand. But if you don't understand how things work in life, you will never be able to actually correct the next time around. You will just keep getting those situations over and over and over. And that's what was happening to me. It's almost like I was in a loop. It was like just a constant loop. Same storyline, different characters, different players, but same movie was playing over and over. And I said, I just can't do this anymore. It's too much. Because like you said, you get so exhausted mentally, you don't want to go on. And I had that many times. I was very, very suicidal many times in life, many times. Since I was 15 years old, I've had many episodes where, I thought, what's the point? What's the point? I don't know what's happening to me. This feels horrible. This feels like shit. Those people over there and there and there look like they're having the most amazing life. And me, I keep looping in shit. Why do I want to be here? What's the point? What's the point? So I'm so grateful for getting that low, because I realized, just for me at least, when I got that low, that's when I started being more humble and asking for help. And that was a huge, huge missing link to my life. That's what was really putting me into the depression and looping in shit in a way, because I was so afraid of asking people for help. Weakness was not an option. Showing weakness was not an option. And very strangely, this is so bizarre, and maybe can be explained somehow later, but neither one of my parents and very few people in my family put pressure on myself or on my sister to achieve. Very little pressure. So where was that coming from? Where's this pressure that I always felt, and this fear of showing weakness? It was very strange that it seemed like there were no conditions that were there to make me be so competitive.
Yeah.
So this is something that later I started to understand more.
Yeah.
About.
We do that with ourselves.
Yeah.
Like we think that other people are doing this, but actually it's coming from us. I need to be perfect, because it's something that we call self-cherishing. Like, I'm very important. I'm the most important people in the world. Like the world, turns around me, and because I'm so important, everybody is paying attention to me. So I have to be perfect. Because when I walk in a room, everybody's looking at me. When I, do some mistake, everybody is judging me.
Yeah.
Because we think we're very important.
Because
And everybody is paying attention to us.
Yeah.
But after a while, or no, not after a while, you have to have someone telling you that, because I didn't figure out alone. Like, you find out that everybody is thinking the same. So
about themselves.
Yeah. So they are so worried about themselves that they don't even care about you. They don't even see you. The same way you think like, oh, everybody's paying attention to me. Oh, this clothes. Oh, this. No, nobody cares, because they're all thinking the same about themselves.
Yeah.
So this is really hard to know that we have this.
Yeah.
But it's very, it's kind of a freedom, because, so now I don't have to worry that much about myself.
So,
yeah,
it's true. There's, when we're focused on ourselves, we don't see the reality of things in a way, or it seems like that. We're just everything becomes about our needs.
And for you working in the fashion industry, like, you were working with that, with pride, with people looking amazing and wanting to be amazing.
Yeah.
And at what point you said, no, this is enough?
I think it was a progression.
Yeah, actually.
It was a progression.
How was it when you found out, oh, this is not right? And then until you say, like, I had enough, because it's a progression.
Yeah. It would be difficult to pinpoint, but I do remember since I first started working, I started having physical ailments. I started having physical problems. It started, I remember, even when I was maybe 18, 19, those first years, I was starting to have really, really strong menstruation discomforts. And I thought it was completely normal, because I heard, okay, this is what happens to a woman when she has her period. And it was only when I would compare with other friends, and they would say, no, that doesn't sound normal, that you're fainting, or that you have a pain that makes you faint. I thought that was normal. I thought, okay. And I would hide in a room at work, and I would be screaming or crying on the ground. And I thought that was normal. And so I thought, okay, go see a doctor, take something, and it'll help you feel better. Because at that age, the only thing I really had heard about how to take care of a pain or a discomfort was medicine. So medicine for me was like a miracle thing, because it allows you to keep going with your life and doing what you want, So I started already getting into this mindset of, Marilyne, if you have a problem, go see a doctor, listen to the doctor, take what the doctor tells you. It helps you to go on and do what you want to do. Great. And this became my go-to for quite a long time. My mom is a healer. She's been a healer for many years, so her approach was always more holistic. However, because of the difficult relationship that my mother and I had at the time, I completely rebelled against anything holistic for a long time. And it's terrible to say, but it's the truth. And I think saying the truth and just really being very honest with these human dynamics that we have are important to talk about, at least for me, because the work that I've done with my mother, I feel, is very connected to my health. also. So I think they go hand in hand. I do feel they go hand in hand. So yeah, the ailments started early on. The menstruation, the gastrointestinal problems, huge problems with my intestines. Again, going to doctors, taking medicine, trying different things. God, I had so many different things that were happening to my body. My body was screaming at me, screaming. And I was suppressing, medicate. Then I started to medicate through alcohol. Yeah. And alcohol was great because it numbed me. It completely numbed the pain. It numbed my emotions. It numbed my sentimentality. It numbed all the things that I thought were not good. That I thought were not good to have.
Yeah.
To be sensitive, to be vulnerable. It just, and also it made me maybe a lot of fun to be around. And so I started to have friends that matched me,
Yeah.
We were all trying to numb something, and we would never talk about our difficulties, never with my friends. I don't remember almost ever having conversations with my friends about the things we were struggling with at work or personally or with our emotions. We would just go out and drink and talk about really superficial things and just have a good time. And it was encouraged actually to not talk about our personal things because we wanted to put that aside and forget about it. So what better way to do that than to just drink and have fun together? So yeah, there was drinking, there was a lot of promiscuity, meaning casual sex, without really thinking about the repercussions of that. And yeah, that started early on. Yeah, around 18. That started early on. So when you ask me the question of when did I start feeling that something wasn't right, it's almost interesting in a way because I think it was right in the beginning.
Oh.
I think it was right in the beginning when I got into fashion at 18. Because I feel now when I look back, if I was really doing something that was good for me, like in a way of like bringing something positive to life and bringing contentment, a feeling of contentment and peace and ease. The things that we now understand more have to do with happiness, contentment, peace of mind, those things. If I had really had those things, I would not have I would not have started drinking so much and having casual sex so much. I would not have become much more aggressive and competitive. And I would not have had maybe so many physical problems that I continuously had for 20 years until my body said, no more. Shut down completely. So
how was it when your body said shut down? When your body shut down, how was it?
Quite simple, actually. I really got to the point of almost jumping out of a hotel room window, and I think that scared me so much because I really wanted to live.
But why did you had a lot of pain in your body?
Yeah, so much pain, constant panic attacks, a lot of attacks at night, hearing voices, feeling paralyzed in bed at night, like somebody was choking me. And I told you about that. It was really scary. I had no idea what was happening, but something that was not physical was attacking me and telling me, you cannot go on. I was hearing it very clearly. You cannot sleep. I was taking 4 of the strongest sleeping pills that you can imagine that were on the market. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're supposed to take half of one. I was taking 4 and I couldn't sleep.
Oh my God.
Wide awake, wired. So I knew something was wrong. And I think that it took it becoming that extreme for me to go to my boss and say, if I don't quit, I'm probably going to kill myself, and it's going to be on your hands. And I remember saying, I think I said that to him, to my last boss in the fashion industry, who was a good friend. And I hesitated so much because he was a longtime friend. He had helped me out when I needed work in the past, and I was making money maybe for the company. So I was feeling very capable, like I was important, all of that silliness. But I knew that if I didn't quit immediately when I got back from that trip, it was a business trip. When I got back to LA, I said, Marilyne, the moment you get back to LA, you go to work and you tell him, don't even start your day. Tell him, so that we can start finding someone to replace you. And it was tough, especially because in my mind, I knew that was it. It wasn't just quitting that job. I was quitting that life, the industry, the thing that gave me all this ego, this buildup of ego for 20 years. So even now, like saying it, it's like so much emotion. I can feel it because it was really scary to leave that.
Yeah.
Everything that defined me.
It was your life.
I had no idea who I was.
Yeah, it's good that you ended that life, because many people ended their life.
Yeah.
Thinking that they are what they do.
Yeah.
And they're not. We can stop. We can stop what we're doing that is bringing us this pain.
Yeah.
and start anew.
It's not easy though.
It's not easy.
That momentum.
How was it for you? Like after you resigned, how was it? Like you went home?
Oh, massive depression.
Massive
depression for about 1 year. Yeah, massive. And my body just, what we call like the life force. When you feel a life force inside of you, like it gets you to get up and out of bed and going to do things, and it gives you the courage to like go and do things even when you're not feeling so good. That was it. I always have this image right after I quit. I didn't quit, actually. I trained someone for a few months.
Okay.
I trained her because I'm very like me. I had the
committed,
doing things well, making sure people don't judge me, doing things, I had that very strong in me. So there was no way I was just leaving, even though probably would have been wise of me to just say, I gotta go. But I stayed and I trained someone and made sure that everything was really done meticulously in the correct way so that no one could say anything bad about me. I remember that, thinking that, Marilyne, if you're going to leave well. Leave on good terms. Make sure that people have a good image of you when you go, even though like I was desperately sick. But I maintained that good image till I walked out the door on that last day. And I remember that. And then when I got home, it was like, I was here and I went like this, down. It was dark. I went into the dark.
Oh my God.
I went into the dark. I was having massive pain at the time because I had been training someone, so I was keeping up appearances. So I was taking very strong narcotics, Vicodin, Percocet, whatever the doctors were giving me, which is a whole other story about my doctors, what they were doing when I was going to them and crying and saying I was suicidal, and they would give me another jar this big of narcotics. Oh, this one's not working, here, take this one. This one might help you. And then I opened the pamphlet. That's like, I can't even show it in the thing here. It's so long. And then somewhere in that all of the writing, it says, suicidal tendencies. It says it quite clearly in the pamphlet. So the side effects of one medication, suicidal tendencies, and then they gave me another medication that had the same side effects. So I think unknowingly they didn't. Now when I look back at these doctors, they just do what they know. they don't know, they don't do. So they do what they know. So, but they were drugging me and they were killing me for sure. They were definitely killing me because, you know, the side effects of the medication were lethal. The medication itself was suppressing the pain, which is lethal. When you suppress something, you're not dealing with the underlying cause. You're not dealing with it,
and you just
accumulate. Yeah. So it was there was a whole story there, but yeah. So when I quit and I got home, the pain, I started facing the pain, which escalated massively. And I was taking more of the pain medication, the sleeping pills. So I was very drugged. The life force was, like I said, I had an image of like someone stuck a tube in me and sucked out all of the life force. I was just a shell. I felt like a shell. It would take me 20 minutes to go from my bed to my bathroom. I had to crawl. Many times I had to crawl to the bathroom, and I wasn't asking for help.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry you had to.
Yeah. I had to go through that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's the best thing that happened to me.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the best thing. Oh my God, I feel so lucky it happened. I'm here. I'm talking to you.
Yes, thank you for that.
I'm alive. I'm alive.
So how was it? So how was it like when you realized like this is enough? I can't live like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, it took a lot of suffering. I say luckily, which is, it might sound funny to some people, but I suspect that some people understand what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, like, it's not...
Maybe.
It's not fun. It's not like... It was a gift for us, but it's not a present that we would give to someone that we love. Like, I don't want you to...
I don't wish this on anyone.
I don't wish this on anyone.
Yeah.
But I learned from that experience. Not that I had to go through that, but I learned from that.
Well, in my case, I mean, I definitely needed to go through it. Definitely. Okay. Because there was no other way. There was no other way. I think back from time to time, I stop for a moment and I think, Marilyne, would you have ever left the fashion industry or what you were doing for work if you did not have the level of pain that you had, or become suicidal? I really ask myself many times, and I mean, I don't even need 1 second to think. My immediate gut reaction is always, no, I never would have left. I would not have left. I would have kept going. I would have kept numbing and numbing and numbing for years until I probably would have died. I mean, I really am convinced I'd be dead now. I'm really convinced, because the body can only take so much.
Yeah.
Our body is built maybe to only take so much, and also emotionally, I think it was very much the emotions, I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah. All your pain was coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
You were very exhausted.
Yeah.
And your body was showing.
Yeah. The body was showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The body shows us what we can't hear. So I'm so grateful for this body. I'm so grateful for this body, because this body kept showing me over and over again, you're not on the right track here. You're not on the right track. This is not the path that you're supposed to be on. But the physical surroundings were showing me that things were okay, So this was difficult. For me, this was something that was very difficult to understand, because on the outside, things looked good, but on the inside, things didn't feel good. So that took some time to really try to piece things together, because it's confusing.
Yeah.
And then when you look on the outside world, everything looks, the appearances are so important, or we put so much importance on the appearance. So that part took me a while to, it's like the computer was going, it's trying to compute things and go, where's the right way to go? Does it matter what you look like? Does it matter, what you're wearing? Does it matter how smart you are? Does it matter how accomplished you are? How much money you have in your bank? Does it really matter? All of these questions started to come to the surface. And I had these questions very vividly in my mind when I was in my early 20s. I remember like writing a lot. And what I kept writing was a lot of things about, why are we here? Is everything a mirror? What is knowledge? What does knowledge give us? Why do we need knowledge? I was questioning these things, but I was in an industry that suppresses all of this part of us, where we're trying to self-inquire, self-understand. But I was in an industry that, no, just show on the outside that you're doing good. So it was very conflicting. And the side of the superficiality took over completely. It just took over. I stopped asking questions. I stopped completely. I stopped wanting to have conversations about what we're doing here. What is life? What is this physical body? Where do we come from? I was like, you know what? If no one's having the conversation, Marilyne, let it go. And so I fully immersed.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because I think a lot of people, it happens to most of the people, because we think we make these questions, and then at some point we just accept, okay, life is like that, I'm gonna live, oh, this is what I have to do, okay, and then you learn how to do it, and then you do it really well, and then for some people, lucky people, they found out, oh, this is not it. This is not it.
You're right. There's some people who early on, or they come in touch with some understanding, and they start to change the direction. Or the priorities. You're right.
So how did you change the direction? Because you were living alone in your apartment here in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles,
and in a huge depression, with a lot of pain, couldn't walk from your bed to the bathroom. There were people helping you?
Well, I mean, there was, of course, the two closest people to me, who are still to this day in many respects, meaning like family-wise, proximity-wise, was my mom and my sister. So they were always there. They were always there to just be there for me if I needed something or wanted something. But I think they also always had a kind of letting me go through things in the way that I needed to, because I, like I explained before with the fashion industry, I had a very strong personality, and this was in all aspects of my life, very strong personality, and not wanting to show weakness, asking for help is not good. I had this mindset very strongly. So I would not let many people help me, even if they tried.
Many people do that. Like, we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to see that we need help. We're like, no, I can do it. I can get out of this alone. Like, I don't need anybody.
I don't need anything. I don't need anybody. Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to think. I think what I did was there was a period while I was going through the depression that I started to look for different modalities. And I started asking a lot of questions I remember thinking a lot about life, because here I was faced with myself. I didn't have this job to go to anymore. A lot of my friends disappeared. I remember vividly having quite a few friends just really not being in touch anymore, because those were the friends I would go out drinking with, or we would go talk about superficial things, or maybe and when they would call me to see how I was, or if I wanted to go out, I would say, I'm sorry, I have so much pain. I'm not sure I can go out. And I would say, but come over. And I had a nice apartment at the time. It was very big. I used to feel like I needed a lot of space all the time. I needed big space. So I got this big apartment with lots of space. And then here I was alone in this big space. I remember feeling completely depressed. And the people who I really thought I was close with were not so close. They were not coming over. And so that was, I think that also there was a lot of negativity in me about that, about people not coming to visit or not being interested to spend time together if I wasn't feeling well. So I went through that for a while. And then I took that time to start listening to different spiritual teachers that were out there. So, that there's Eckhart Tolle. I was listening to him. I was reading a few of his books. There were some things, like when I read, for example, A New Earth, I remember that was already, it was almost like a seed was planted and it started growing. And that was about a year before all of that happened that I read that book, and a year or 2 years. And so there were things along the way that were like being planted. Different things I listened to, and going to doctors and healers, trying to find a solution for the pain. And what happened?
You went to everything, like
I went to
holistic therapy.
I tried everything. God, I tried so many things, and every
Here
time
in Los Angeles, you can try everything. Endless.
It could go on for years. It could go on for years. So I tried a lot of things. I got credit cards so that I could, when I ran out of money, I became really, really greedy to get better. And that was not helping me, because I was having more of this aggression that I had when I was in fashion, but now it was to get better, because I wanted to get rid of the problem. I just wanted to get rid of it. There was no real wanting to understand how and why. It was more like, this is really inconveniencing me, this pain and this depression. And I kept trying to find like little quick fixes, but it wasn't working. Yeah. You want to stop it?
No.
So you can? Okay. So I spent a lot of money and
Trying to heal.
And then I did a workshop somewhere that opened something up for me. It opened up thinking about my ancestors. I had really never thought about that before. I hadn't. I had thought about grandparents, great-grandparents, and that was it. I didn't go further back. I thought about, I thought about maybe some things that happened in childhood, maybe some things that happened to my parents, but I didn't really go into it. So this workshop, there was an exercise where they really have you communicate, of course, through letters, with your ancestors, with your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents, and to try to understand what life must or may have been like for them. And you're just basically drawing upon memories of things you've been told when since you were little. So I didn't know too much, but I knew some things about the difficulties. I have some Jewish heritage, and I had found out about, my grandparents, how most of his siblings, like I think maybe four of his siblings, died in the concentration camps, for example, in the Holocaust. So I had some information, and it was there in the background, but I never connected it to me. Never. For me, there was no connection until I took this workshop, and it had us start to write letters. And I started feeling things, emotions that were starting to come up. that I had never felt before about people I didn't know. And I think when I came back from this workshop, something started to shift, where my mind started to go into wanting to understand more about that, about what we come from. What happens to all these memories? What happens? Do they just die with us? Do they stay with us? Do they go somewhere? So I started to become open to this. And this was a very new thing for me, very new.
It was here in Los Angeles, the workshop?
It was in Napa Valley.
Napa Valley?
Yeah, yeah. And that was, I would say that was a big game changer. I remember coming back from that, and some things that I used to go to numb, like a new boyfriend or drinking, it was almost like I had a complete rejection to it. I remember I was dating someone who was kind of an alcoholic, drinking every day to numb, and drinking a lot every night. And very quickly, when I came back, we were done. It ended within 1 week. It was done. Yeah, we had nothing in common anymore. It was almost like something switched in me, and we had nothing in common. And yeah, it was very interesting how that happened. And I really started to follow more people who were starting to talk about that, about where do we come from, what is the universe made of, existential questions, And so that was part one of the new path. I think it was really the beginning of me. It's almost like I was going on this trajectory, since I was younger, going this way. And then once I took this workshop and I started to see things a little bit differently, I started to veer into another direction. So the more I would go into this new direction, the more I started to come into contact with things that were starting to give me a little bit more, I'm not sure if it was understanding, but it would start to show me things in a different way, to show me other aspects of life that I hadn't thought of before. So yeah, I spend about a year trying to find, how we say we're trying to find ourselves?
Yeah.
So I was doing a little bit of that. I was going to different talks. I went for a year. I went to go listen to this woman called Marilyne Kohn, who many people might be familiar with. She was giving this talk every Monday night, which I suspect she might still be doing it, maybe. But it was every Monday night, and I forget the name or what it was exactly. It was based on a teaching. It was based on a methodology, but it was really about the ego. It was really about understanding your ego, how it works, how it functions, and how it gets us to do certain things that we do in our life. Yeah. Our friend, the trash truck.
Good. He's taking the trash.
Oh yeah, he's taking our trash.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. So I was going to listen to this woman every Monday night, and that was another I think seed that was being planted to start thinking about our mindsets. How I thought, how my thinking affected other people. Really getting into the details of how we think and why we think the way we think, and how there's a lot of warfare in a way, in the way that we think. And so this is great, because this really helped me to start looking at myself more honestly, which is something I was not really doing before, because I had so many coping mechanisms. I had the alcohol, I had the fashion industry, I had the success from the outside. I had all those things that were helped me very much to not have to look at myself. I didn't need to look at myself, because what was being portrayed on the outside seemed okay. So yeah, that was great. That really helped me to start doing a lot of self-inquiry. And I remember even at the time when I would go on Monday nights, I would try to get friends to come with me. I'd be like, come on, you should come to this class. It's really interesting what she's talking about. As soon as I would tell people a little bit what it was about, no, that doesn't sound fun at all. I'm not interested in that. So I became even more distanced from many of my friends at that time. I remember not seeing many people at that time, and more distance. And there was nothing wrong with any of the people, the friends that I had, or the people I was spending time with, but we just really, you know how they say when you start taking a different path, a lot of people drop off,
Yeah.
or we go into different directions. And I'm sure they thought that about me too. I'm one of those people
Yes.
who also, was not aligned with their life, with what they were doing in their life. So, so started doing that. And then I started to feel a little bit better. I did yoga religiously for many months. There was a teacher who helped me a lot with my pain. The pain started going down a little bit. I started to build some confidence up a little bit. And I remember going to have a meal with my sister, and she said, I just get this feeling that something's going to be coming your way again. You're going to get an offer to go back into the business. You're going to take it because it's going to be a great offer maybe. And because she knows me very well, she knows how I think and how I behave in life. And she was probably able to see a lot better from the outside than me inside. So she says, I really have a feeling you need to leave LA because LA is just not a good environment for you. And long story short, many things happened in the coming months, but I ended up making a very dramatic, I say dramatic because I made the decision one day to sell all of my things, sell everything, give away and sell, because I needed some money to move. If not, I would have given everything away. But I sold my car and furniture and all those things. And I decided to move to Bali. And Bali, I had a cousin who was over there already and was opening a restaurant. And he said, oh yeah, you can come here and maybe you can work in the restaurant and find a job and, you can get better. There's a lot of healers here. And I got really excited. I got very excited.
Bali, you're gonna stay
Bali.
at the beach.
At the beach, I'm gonna learn how to surf. I'm gonna live a very low-key life. Maybe I'll just work in a cafe or something, and I'm just gonna have a new life. And it sounded very, very nice and exciting. And so, yeah, I sold everything. I got on a plane. I moved there. And within maybe 3 or 4 months, my pain came back. Panic attacks came back. And that really destabilized me because I was starting to feel really good in Bali. I was going to yoga. I was meeting really nice people. I was joining different groups of activities. I was on a scooter, which was my dream since I was younger. We lived in the islands when I was younger, and we had scooters. And for me, that was some of the times that were the happiest for me were when I was on the scooter. There's something about being on a scooter, I just love it. There's kind of like a freedom, and you can move around, and I don't know, it's fun. It's just light and fun. So I was living that life, and I was becoming hopeful about life again. And then the pain came back. So that really, it's almost like someone came and just punched me in the face really hard. It's just, what is happening? What is going on here? And I started paying more attention to what was happening in my body. And I started feeling something about I'll say it just how it felt at the time. I started feeling uneasy with the energy of Bali. Maybe without going into too much detail.
Yeah.
But there was something that felt, something didn't feel right. Everything looked nice on the outside. The people were nice, and there were a lot of Westerners that were moving there to do yoga, to find themselves, and they had left their previous work like I had before. I was meeting a lot of people that had very similar stories to me, maybe not with the pain that I had, but they just got tired of it and they dropped everything and went to Bali. So I was feeling this synchronicity with all these people. But there was also something where I started feeling, and this is so strange because I didn't have this much when I lived in the US, probably because I would never admit it. But I started to have a lot of jealousy and envy, feelings of jealousy and envy towards other people that I was seeing who looked like they were doing great, and they looked happy, and they looked like things were easy for them. And things were never easy for me. Never. Everything was always difficult. Everything was a struggle. I always struggled with relationships with men. Always. A lot of conflict. A lot of misunderstandings. I always struggled with my relationship with my mother and my sister. We always struggled a lot. I always struggled with my bosses when I worked in different places. There was a lot of conflict and pushing and pulling and trying to win. One is trying to win the other one over. There was always struggle. And all the people there looked like they were having like such an easy life, like life was easy for them. And I started feeling like this kind of, I don't know if it was a jealousy, but a very strong comparison.
It is jealousy. Like,
Yeah.
because we want to be happy like they are.
Yeah.
Like, but
Like
they are,
I would want that.
But the thing is, maybe they're not.
Yeah, of
Probably
course.
they're not.
Of course.
Because, like,
Yeah.
we talked about this. What we see outside, maybe it's completely different
Than what's really happening.
What's really happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we feel jealousy. We feel like everybody is doing fine and we're not.
And we're not. And that's not okay.
And that's not okay.
Yeah.
I want to do fine.
Yeah, I want to do fine. So there started to be a lot of these feelings coming up, and even so strong that I didn't even recognize myself. Sometimes I said, who is this person? Like, why am I having these thoughts? I don't remember being like this when I was in LA. This is so weird. And so a lot of feelings of the jealousy, comparison, and then the pain got really bad. Panic attacks, nighttime attacks, the voices were coming back. A lot of things started to not feel okay anymore. And so here I am in this beautiful paradise.
In the paradise, and I'm still like that.
And something's coming back, yeah.
Yeah. So now, probably I don't have a chance because I'm in the best place in the world.
Exactly.
And I still feel miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
So what now?
What now? Good question. What now?
What now?
What now?
So
I started going to see healers. I thought, okay, I'm going to find a solution on the outside. Always on the outside. Always on the outside. Always on the outside. So, okay, I'm going to go to this healer. This healer tells me, wow, you've got
because we want quick, like, fast treatment. Like,
of course.
No, give me some pill. No, give me some, I don't know,
Fix
Reiki.
me. Fix me.
Fix me. Fix me.
Fix me. This was the word. Fix me.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. Now I have friends now that say, like, they tell me they use this word, and I think inside of me, I go, wow, I really remember. I remember that time. Yes. So yes, there was a kind of wanting a fix, a quick solution. And I wasn't thinking I wanted a quick fix necessarily, but I still was in the thinking that I could go see someone on the outside that could fix the problem that I was having on the inside. And so I started seeing some people, and this actually started to reveal a little bit more of what was really happening, because the word ancestor started coming back again.
Yeah.
And this was this was great because I had kind of put it aside. This work I started to do to try to understand more about the ancestors and how that affected this life, me, us now. I had kind of put it aside when I was feeling great in Bali. I was looking good again. I was feeling good. I was on my scooter having a great time. And so I had kind of like, not really focused on that. And so some of the healers I started seeing they brought that up. Two main ones that I saw said, because I had a lot of emotions coming out when they would do the session on me, I would cry uncontrollably sometimes for like a half hour. I couldn't control it. It was just coming out in waves and waves and waves. I said, what is going on? What is this? And they said, wow, you seem to have a lot of trauma in your body to do with your ancestors, the life of your ancestors. So that was a key point, where I started to think, oh, this is way bigger than me finding a fix on the outside. But that was also scary because I didn't know what to do.
Oh, okay. So let's stop here. This is video part one. And next video, you're gonna tell us how was your journey to find the peace inside of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you in the next video.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.